Hey guys, it's time to update our tier lists. In this video today we're gonna start off by adjusting our team tier list according to the newest information about the 3rd anniversary. The new information that we have, this is the team list that was present, or at least a form of it, that was about version 3.6 when we had just a little bit of information about the 3rd anniversary. The information that is added now is we have the full-blown Euphoria update for regulars. Like when I first made this tier list, we only had a glimpse into her Euphoria update, plus her portraits got reworked and we know every single portrait and the changes are very tremendous. We know the portraits for Coppelia and for Rhiannon as well. So there are some changes here that I definitely want to make. So let's go over them and let's start off by talking about this regulars thing and what it changes and how and why does it change things quite a bit. That is because, first of all, like, she is very, very important for the metagame. She is going to be the second best main DPS in the entire game in the 3rd anniversary. She is another character from the Star Afflatus. We also have another Star Afflatus team with Liangyue, Chen Higuang, Flutterpage and Fatutu in the game. Plus, there is a situation here concerning Skipperina. In my previous tier list, we wanted to play Skipperina in the Star Prompto lineup. But honestly speaking, I would remove Star Prompto completely from the metagame. I would just delete this team and pretend it doesn't exist anymore. That is because we do not need the Star Afflatus, because the Star Afflatus is taken care of in the first place by Liang and Cheng, but also we could then wing it with the brand new Regulus, and with how strong she is, it really renders the Star Prompto team useless. And by deleting this team from the very metagame, we have now access to Skipperina, who was previously occupied by this very team, and we can improve our team here, the planned Prompto lineup, by removing Mercuria from this lineup and putting Skipperina here. That improves the team a little bit, not because Skipperina provides shields to the team. The survivability that Skipperina adds to this planned Prompto team is 100% irrelevant and not needed in any content in this game whatsoever. But the fact that she provides a little bit more inspiration to the team is more beneficial and increases our damage output more than the buff, the critical hit rate increase from Mercuria would be. That is why Skipperina is the best in slot, not because of her shield. I just wanted to point that out one more time real quick. And there is another scenario that is very, very similar here. Look, it is between Poison and the rank up team. Now, there's another factor. Let's talk about it. Look, the rank up team is nothing to sneeze at. It is quite decent and yeah, a little bit viable. But look, the reason why you would play the rank up team in the first place is to hit the Plant Afflatus for very effective damage whenever that would be required. Now we hit the Plant Afflatus damage with other teams, right? Like Plant Prompto. Like even Poison can be used to hit the Plant Afflatus damage team. We know that there's already another team on the horizon when Noir gets a Euphoria update. She will then be played together with Beth and Silverwing Eagle for the time being. Or you can remove the 5-star Silverwing Eagle and put in like an Argus, right, for example. And you could play Veer in this team because both Noir and Beth both deal mental damage. So you see how it would again be very beneficial for us to just remove this rank up team out of existence. It frees up characters, it is not needed anymore anyways, and it is outclassed by multiple other teams that served the same purpose, you know what I mean? So getting rid of it is very, very beneficial. this applies to, as I said, the Star Prompto team and to rank up. And therefore, let's just get rid of these teams and not count them towards the metagame, and also not to the extended metagame either. You can already see that I exchanged the rankings here for the Afterglow and the Instrument lineup. In my previous tier list, those, like Afterglow was, I think, even rank 4, if I'm not mistaken. I exchanged that, right? Because Plant Prompto is now way better, because now we don't have to worry about the Skip Arena spot anymore. Star Prompto is gone. And therefore we have to play, or we should play if we have her, Skip Arena in this Plant Prompto lineup. That makes it better than it previously was with Mikiria. And therefore it is now better definitely than Afterglow is. So that's why it rose the ranks. I also put Instrument already higher up than I would put Afterglow. Even though this team is incomplete and misses their signature sustain, which is a bummer, especially considering Afterglow has a sustain character like Marsha, who's pretty good. But still, like the second best main DPS character in the game deserves some respect. This team will play right out of the gate together with, probably with Rihanna. It depends a little bit, because the collaboration could introduce another Euphoria update for a character like maybe Barcelona, speculation. Any character gets a Euphoria update that would fit into this Instrument archetype team as well. That obviously would make the team a lot better, because then we can do with Rihanna what we actually want Rihanna to do, and that is get her out of this Instrument archetype team and have her be played in Bloodtide, to replace Sentinel there. That is what we actually would love to do. But it is not possible in the 3rd anniversary, because the Instrument archetype team is not yet complete and we need Rihanna there. The collaboration could change that possibly. If not, then this team is very future proof. It's the second best main DPS in the game, and that will be the case for a very long time to come. And we can have future characters that are going to be released that we then fit into this team, right? And we can then, right? Yeah, you get the point. And we of course need the signature sustain. While in the Afterglow team, if we're being honest, the only character that could be replaced there is Isolde. So there we go. Better main DPS, more future proof, plays the new best support character in the entire game in the lineup, right? I mean, in my opinion, it already deserves a higher spot in the metagame than Afterglow, and it will of course rise the ranks as we go further into the future. Instrument is gonna be one of the best teams in the entire game in the near future after the 3rd anniversary, right? Everything that I say is speaking in context of we are already in the 3rd anniversary. Please keep that in mind. And as you can see, like the metagame is, I mean, how else could it be at this point, completely dominated by Bloodtide and Dynamo. No other team in the game holds a candle to these two teams. Instrument will rise to top 3, right? Keep that in mind, but still, Bloodtide and Dynamo are completely unmatched. Those teams are way too broken. They have no competition even. Then the teams here with Liang Yue, Chen Higuang, this follow-up attack lineup, and the Plant Prompto, these ranks, they could be exchanged if you wanted to. The reason why I put this follow-up attack team higher, even though these two teams are very close, and it kind of, here in this scenario, it depends on what content you actually face, and that will decide which team is better. That's how close they are. I gave the edge and I put the follow-up attack team higher because it simply does have the better individual characters. We can go over this real quick if you like. Look at the sustain here with Fatutu and Two Fairy. Fatutu is the best sustain character in the entire game, an absolute legend, and Two Fairy does not hold a candle to that. Flutterpage, you know, the powerhouse duo with Fatutu and Flutterpage, those are among the best characters in the entire game. Flutterpage makes an entire archetype even playable. Without Fatutu, a follow-up attack lineup would barely exist. It could still exist, yes, but it would be way worse. It would not be top 3 or top 4 in the metagame. ever, right? It would have never been the case. Flutter Page is an absolute giga carry, and you can say, really, it's realistic. She enables a whole archetype to come alive. And yeah, I mean, Skip Arena is nowhere near that kind of value when it comes to like how beneficial a character is for your account. No way Skip Arena is holding up there, not even close, you know. Then Chen Higuang, Anali, I don't think I need to even talk about this. Chen Higuang provides such unique things to the team that no other character in the game would do. Yeah, he is very AP friendly. He removes his incantation completely from the pool. He lowers the amount of cards that you have in your hand, makes everything much more consistent and much more convenient. I mean, and Anali does only provide a little bit of, not a little bit, it's a huge amount, that's why we play her, right? Inspiration to the team. But that's about it. There is nothing unique about that. There is nothing that stands out. So yeah, Chen Higuang is definitely a better character than An Li. And for the main DPS characters here with Liang Yue and Paper Heron is kind of close, you know, but Liang is the third best main DPS character in the entire game. If Lucy receives her Euphoria update number 2, then she will be like the second best main DPS or the third best main DPS. She's then will be a contestant for the spot that Regulus currently holds. So Paper Heron is below all of these characters. It's Nautica, Lucy, if she gets a Euphoria number 2, Regulus, and Liang Yue, and then comes Paper Heron. So Liang is still a little bit better than Paper Heron. So yeah, I mean, you get the point, right? That's why follow-up attack, I put it higher than Plan Prompto because of the individual prowess concerning the teammates that are present in their respective teams. And that's pretty much about it. You can easily figure out what the metagame is by just looking at what the developers or what the kit of Rihanna here presents to you. She belongs to 5 archetypes. Those are Bloodtide, Dynamo, Impromptu, Instrument, and Afterglow. You add follow-up attack, the follow-up attack team to the mix, and tada, you have the core of your metagame. Those 6 teams are going to be dominant, and those 6 teams are going to be the metagame. Now, if you want to extend the metagame a little bit, and you want to find some honorable mentions and nice niches, then we're gonna talk about the Poison lineup. The Poison lineup is very, very strong, especially if you have Willow and Tuesday at P3 plus Ramona in the lineup. The bummer, the fact that holds Poison back is that they do not have their signature sustain, and that is always a big issue, just as it is for the Instrument archetype. But here, right, we talked about it. Regulus and stuff, you get the point. But yeah, Poison is being held back by the fact that they don't have their signature sustain. That's really about it. That makes, and of course, yeah, you need portraits, but I mean, these characters, they exist for such a long time, and if you're committed to Poison, you have both of them at P3, no question, right? For how long are these characters in the game? I mean, yikes, it's been over a year. So there we go, we had more than enough opportunities to pull for these characters. But yeah, Poison, very, very strong. Only a niche, unfortunately, because of the lack of a proper sustain character. Then we have the Euphoria update for Recoleta. Unfortunately, this is also why Igor is not present here. And I put Recoleta instead, because now with the Euphoria update for Recoleta, there's no question about it anymore, that Recoleta is now again the best main DPS character for an Ultimate Archetype team. She always was, but Igor was so close that, yeah, it was kind of debatable. Now with the Euphoria update for Recoleta, not close anymore. She's definitely 100% better than Igor. That's why she's here. Both of these characters suffer the same issue, and those are their teammates. Their teammates are just too bad. Mulder and Lopara, I mean, we all know about that. Melania is still needed. You need to 100% Melania, otherwise Recoleta would be completely unplayable. And then Getian, you know, I mean, Getian is an absolute catastrophe. Look, Getian is the best in slot support character for this Ultimate Archetype team. Now take Getian's individual prowess and compare it to all the other support characters that we have in the game. With Sentinel, Sharon, Flutterpage, Skip Arena, Rihanna, Lawrence Butterfly, Ramona, you know. And then there's Getian. I mean, Getian is kind of, it's comedy gold. He is a joke. He should not even be here, right? So let's get rid of him. And that's the reason why the team is not more than a niche. It's even worse than like the situation with Poison is. So yeah, don't invest like Unilox into Recoleta or anything. Like, forget about this Ultimate Archetype team. They still, after all this time, don't even have their signature sustain yet either. So this team is kind of in the grave. And then, yeah, a little bit of future music where we don't know yet how good it will actually be. But whenever Noah will receive her Euphoria update, she will receive her Euphoria update soon-ish after the 3rd anniversary. And then this team might or might not be cooking, right? I mean, they will be cooking. The question is, how delicious will the dish be, So we gotta wait and see for that one, but have that in the back of your head, at least when it comes to the metagame. There's a pretty high chance that this will be the new so-called rank up team. It will be a little bit of a mix of rank up and Ultimate Archetype team fused together, and the chances here are very, very high that it will both outclass rank up and the Ultimate Archetype team, because you can see here on your screen with Noah, Beth, Argus and Via, that would actually be a respectable team when it comes to the individual prowess that these characters provide. And therefore it would be better than the Ultimate Archetype team here that we can get rid of easily. And that would be the metagame right here. Wait, where did Lorenz go? Oopsie. Here. So let's remove that from the list as well for the time being. And here, this is gonna be the metagame in the 3rd anniversary. The core of the metagame are the top 6, and if you want to extend the metagame, then you do it with Poison. If you wanna go even further, you put the Ultimate Archetype team here into the mix with the new Recoleta Euphoria update, and maybe you even can play rank up with Marcus and Via there. And that's gonna be about it, guys. I hope that was fun and informative. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put in another candy here and talk briefly about power creep. I see this sometimes coming up. Not a lot of people do this, but I see this coming up from time to time, that people mention the power creep. Some even go as far and say, oh, the rampant power creep, I can't keep up with getting the characters, right? That is like completely dumb what you're saying. You're making such a huge fool out of yourself. Why? Look at your screen. And let me go over it briefly in case you are too blind to see that. Nautica. That is, we are talking in the context of the 3rd anniversary. Nautica is here, the best character of all time, completely dominating the metagame for a year. And she is here, just receiving her Euphoria update, and she will dominate the entire metagame for another year to come, at the very least. That is the character that is here for 1 year. Look at Semmelweis. She's on top of the metagame, dominating the metagame for 2 years straight at that point. And she's not going anywhere anytime soon, because Sentinel will leave the team, not Semmelweis and Nautica. Cool. Then even Sentinel, she was released right after the 2nd anniversary, and we are in the 3rd anniversary. She's here for like what, 10 months at this point? Where's the power creep? Robushka got released after Sentinel. She is here for like what, 7 or 8 months. Just had a rerun. Where's the power creep, brother? Lucy, dominating the metagame for 2 years straight. Ulrich, free character, on top of the metagame for 1 year straight. We have Sharon. He got released in the same version as Sentinel. How long is he part of the game? How long is he on top of the metagame and everyone needs him, wants him to play in the Dynamo archetype? For what, 7 or 8 months? Where's the power creep? We have Liang Liuer on top of the very metagame. That character is 1.5 years old. She's not going anywhere anytime soon. What are you talking about, power creep? We have the legendary duo here, always on top of the metagame, no matter what. They always find their spot. Those two characters with Flutterpage and Fatutu are in the game for fucking ever. I can't even remember the game without Fatutu being in it. You know what I mean? Like, where's the power creep? Please enlighten me. We have Three characters that were part of the game from day one with Anan Lee, Tooth Fairy and Regulus. Those characters are here from day one. Okay, Tooth Fairy is day 3, I give you that one, but still, you get the point. Where is the power creep? Where are the characters that you cry about and that you say you have to pull for and you can't keep up? Pretty much the entire roster here is here for like at least 1 year, if not even longer than that. What is it that you can't pull for, that you can't keep up with? You must be completely out of your mind and completely misunderstand Reverse1999 in its entirety. You don't understand the whole game and the design philosophy and what makes this game free-to-play friendly and why this game is so great. Like, if you talk about rampant power creep, why are you even playing this game? Like, what's the point, brother? This is crazy. If you only care about the story, then shut up about power creep. I don't know like how much crack you are smoking every day. It's crazy to say something like that. The only characters that we had to pull for like the last 7 to 8 months, where you might say Sharon, but again, he's so far, like, you don't even need to pull for this guy anymore. He's 7-8 months old. We had to pull for Enigma and Paper Heron. That's pretty much it. Like, the Paper Heron team was completely cheap to build. The only thing you had to pull for in the half anniversary, this is also, she is now 6 months old of a character. That's the only thing you had to pull for. Plus Enigma. You had to, in the span of 6 months, you had to pull for 2 characters, and that's it. And you are sitting there, you're going out there in public and complaining about power creep. Are you out of your mind? Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's what I wanted to add to this video at the very end, to have like a little bit of a cherry on top, because rants and talking shit to some people in the community is fun and entertaining. But that's it about the video, guys. I hope that was fun and informative. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, peace!